So I'm going to introduce you now to Nicolas Propthe from PVH. That was a tongue twister for a minute there. Hello, Nicolas. Welcome.
Hello, Angela. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Maybe you can introduce yourself and then start your introduction with it and your presentation.
So first, I'm Nicolas Propthe. I'm working for PVH Europe, and my team and myself, we are focused on developing the denim product for Tommy Hilfiger Europe. So mainly, we have to create the best sustainable jeans to fulfill the consumer needs and customer needs. So my team is fabric, raw specialist, wash development, product developers. I'm more focused myself on what does it mean innovation for our denim industry. That's important. But also I'm also the one who's thinking about what could it be the best sustainable strategy, really to try to transform the denim industry, because I believe we need a big transformation. So that's more or less my role. So today I'm going to talk about the Denim Deal initiative, and I think it's quite interesting, and that's the topic of the day. So if you can push for the next slide. I would like to, what is the Denim Deal? Probably you heard about it. I think it's quite relevant for the discussion we have today. So we have to come back in 4 points, but we have to come back to the origin of the Denim Deal. And it's quite unique, by the way. So it's a Dutch government initiative regarding circularity and circular business model. Has been initiated by the State Secretary of Infrastructure and Water Management. What is behind? And I think that's important, that the Dutch government identified one product category and they took the denim product. I think that the fact that we are based in Amsterdam, and I'm not saying that Amsterdam is the European capital of denim, but there is a lot of activities, brands around Amsterdam that are dealing with this product category. So the Dutch government really focused on one product category and set up, let's say, a framework, a guidelines, how we're going to engage circularity with this product category. Second point, it's a public and private collaboration. So on one side, we just said you have the authorities, policymakers, Dutch government setting the frame, but on the other side, it's also a lot of private different stakeholders, companies like us, like brands, but also all the different stakeholders who are representative the whole entire value chain, and to make sure we are going to close the denim loop. And I'm going to explain what is closing the denim loop. Number 3, we need a purpose. We need what is exactly the objective of this denim deal. And really the objective of the denim deal is to promote the use of post-consumer recycled cotton fiber in our denims, in our fabrics, and obviously in our jeans. So to make sure we are going to stimulate and create this reverse supply chain using a textile waste post-consumer has been worn by the consumer, and how we can make another fiber again and to put again in our supply chain stream. So that's really the objective of the denim deal. And every objective or every purpose, if you want to steer it, and that's the experience I have, you need to drive the whole project with targets. So we identified, we set up 2 targets. The first one is a quantitative target. So we had all the brands signatories about the denim deal. We have to produce and put on the market 3 million pair of jeans containing minimum 20% post-consumer recycled cotton. So this is a time frame of 3 years, because we started end of December 2020, and we have to get this target by the end December 2023. The second target is more qualitative. It's how we make sure in our collection, across the denim collection, we still have, in terms of weight, 5% post-consumer recycled cotton in our collection for the brands. So that's the denim deal in 4 points. What are our ambitions? On the next slide, please. I think it's important for you, young generation, that we really want to stimulate systemic change. And I think the first steps, the one on the left, very important, is to bring this collaborative mindset. This is quite new, by the way. So it's how we're going to work collectively with all the different parties and to make sure we are going to increase the number of pieces using post-consumer recycled cotton. But I think it's even more important that even if we are competitors as a brand, directly competitors, or if you have different denim mills working in this platform, directly competitors fighting for the same brands, we need to work collectively. It's a different mindset. And I think the change we want on the second step, this is exactly what I'm talking about, change of mindset. We are working together for the same purpose, same direction, same objective, and we forget a little bit, we put on the side the competition side. I think that's, we have to mobilize all the different energy, and we have to create this change, not only in the supply chain, like I mentioned here in the slide, but I think it's a change of mindset. And I think you young generation, probably you will be more, how to say, sensitive to this kind of new way of working, because my generation, probably it was still in the competition side. So we have to create this change. And I think by creating this change, there is also an inspiration piece. We all talk about purpose-driven, or how I can contribute myself to make the change. I think for us, it's very important as a brand also, different people working in PVH or Tommy figure, they are part of a bigger picture, how we can make the change. And I think the inspiring pieces, it's also if we make this denim deal successful with one product category, we could inspire other European countries around us to adopt the same model and to make sure we scale post-consumer recycled cotton uptake in our fabrics. Next slide, please. So for that, yes, if you can click. So who is participating to the denim deal? So this, I mentioned at the beginning, it's a different stakeholders covering all the supply chain. So obviously we discussed already about the government, Dutch government. They create the framework, but they are doing also a little bit more activities. For example, the monitoring. How do we stand? So they are collecting all the different numbers to see, because we need neutrality. We need somebody from outside to make sure that we can monitor and report the different results. They do a lot of activity in terms of facilitating textile waste export. You can imagine that we need to move some textile waste from Netherlands to other countries, and we have to facilitate some duties, some imports, some rules, so they can speak with other governments, how they can facilitate this kind of practices. And sometimes also they are here to also to leverage or help us to finding funds when we have to unlock some innovation. Local authorities, it's more about on the ground floor, different municipalities in terms of collecting system, how we can optimize, because even if we look at Netherlands, it's by regions, different rules. So how we can optimize the collecting system. So local authorities are quite important. Obviously, brands and retailers, we are also very active here. We have to define roadmaps, personal individual roadmaps by brand to make sure that we bring the stakeholders of our supply chain and we measure the target and we monitor the target, but also to have a group target to make sure we foster circular supply chain. We have a new population, and when I take new population is we have these textile waste processes from I'm learning in this journey. So collectors, sorters, people are cleaning, cutting the different waste textile we have. This is a very important chain of the whole supply chain. They have a huge role here, and that's where we are working with them. And after, probably you know better, but a little bit more the classic supply chain. So we have recyclers, we have spinners and weavers. Here the objective is how we can make sure they all talk each other to make sure we optimize the different process to bring a very high quality recycling cotton fiber, and we can use it and to put in our circular system. On the right end of the slide, we need also other parties, I would say experts, R&D centers, universities. By the way, Transformers Foundation became already a partner. because we need robustness. If we want to have credibility, if we want to have a solid business case, we need to have the best experts and people around us to make sure that this platform is going to be successful. Yeah. We have today, I think my document, 40 participants today. I think I'm a little bit behind. I think it's a little bit more. I think it's around 42 or 43. That's the population that is active today in the Denim deal. Next slide, please. So what is our role as a brand? I think well, in the journey of using post-consumer recycled cotton, we were a little bit we engaged prior to the Denim deal. So what do we want here for us is really share expertise and drive scale impact. I just want to, I'm not going to read the slide, but sharing knowledge and learning and sharing learnings is very important as a brand, but I think we need to engage other people in the other brands, smaller brands with us. Scaling impact is very important. More brands will be in this platform, more pieces will be impacted. So we are going to create this whole movement, and we are going to put the pressure on the different denim mills, spinners. So we are going to activate this reverse supply chain. So that's fostering volume is extremely important. So that's I think the main activities that we want to bring, and these are the benefits as a brand. What do we want to do? Next slide, please. Yeah, so how we will get there, the how is important. So how we do that, this active engagement, how we make sure that the different parties are extremely involved. So we have direct collaboration, how we connect with the different stakeholders, how we engage with them, how we talk about it. We have a steering committee to drive the different parties to achieving the goals. So we have different annual reporting, monitoring. We have also a kind of steer code to make sure we bring the best new members and how we can make sure we bring quality in the group. Foster working group, very important. We have at this moment 3 working groups regarding transport and logistic, how we can make this reverse supply chain extremely efficient. We have another very important one, quality mythbuster about the use of recycled cotton fibers. We have done it, and I think we will continue, because I think there is a lot of misunderstanding about quality recycled cotton fiber. And also another one very important that we're still working on, it's about transparency. From the textile waste collecting system, how we have the full transparency until the upcycling to make a cotton fiber, a cotton yarn with it. And we share, so cooperation, again, I insist on that, how we can cooperate with different brands involved in the Denim deal, how we can align, how we can monitor, sharing learning and experience, but also challenge the denim industry together. More power we have, more demand we have, and more alignment the denim industry will follow. And I think the next slide, it's give you a little bit timeline. So the Denim deal was officially launched in December 2020. PVH became a little bit later, beginning of 2021. And these are the different activities you see: initiatives, steerco, working group meetings, brand meetings. Our deadline and our goal with the 3 million pieces of jeans with 20% post-consumer recycled cotton. And we have the monitoring, and we have every year annual reporting to see where we stand, where we are regarding the target. So it's quite simple on the paper, but it's quite challenging to put in action. And I think the last slide is just to give you, so it's not up to date. I'm sorry if I missed few brands or few different parties. So you can see the different names about denim mills, other parties, textile waste processors. This list is longer today. We have more. We are extending also a little bit the geography, because you can see that we are mainly for the recyclers, spinners, and weavers. We are based in Turkey, but there is also more and more interest from Pakistan, more and more interest from Bangladesh. I think we are starting to create a kind of movement, and I think there is more and more international people, international brands who wants to join this movement, and how we can make 20% post-consumer recycled cotton a new standard? Because I think Marcia, prior me, described a little bit what's happening in the virgin cotton field. I still believe we need to unlock the full potential of recycled cotton fiber, because this is the best cotton. It's come from waste. How we can use waste as a new resources. That's the whole objective of the Denim Deal project. That's it for me. So, Angela, if you, I don't see anything.
Thank you very much. I'm back. Yes, can you see me here? No, great. Thank you very much. What an achievement to get so many partners together and collaborate together with such great intentions and challenging goals, I think. So let me just see in the chat, we've got some questions for you. Another question from Aranisha saying, how many times can you recycle denim and what new developments go beyond the first cycle? So how can the industry create a continuous loop?
Yeah, I think we have to take step by step. Yeah, I had this question before. You know, even if it's only once, when we have 5 billion jeans in the bin every year, the amount of resources and the amount of cotton recycled fiber that it's already available, and I think, of course, we are blending with virgin cotton. We don't know yet all these data, but I think we are going to build in it. But I think we should take challenge little step by little step and not try to take the bigger picture. I understand the question, but I think we have to go step by step at this stage.
Step by step. That seems logical. And what you mentioned, participation with potentially educational institutes like AMFI or Saxion, how could they play a role?
So yeah, so by the way, I could not update my screen, but Text Plus Group and Saxion University are part of the Denim Deal. So we're welcoming. Okay. We are welcoming every university focused on circularity, every educational. I think it's important, not because I think also they have knowledge, I think on one side, but also to bring young generation, young people in this kind of project. And for example, we have one thesis, one student from Saxion working with us on this particular case about recycling cotton.
Okay. Okay, great. So there's an open door for more people that are interested in this.
Always.
Fantastic. And then last question, how are you dealing with limitations to recycling textile and cotton waste, e.g. mixed fibers, recycled fiber length? And do you think there is a possibility to have a completely 100% recycled fabric garment?
So first, we have 100% recycled cotton fabric. We have done it already. So technically it's possible. So it's not completely post-consumer. So it's a mix with industrial waste and post-consumer. So technically, in terms of spinning technology, opening fiber, there is more and more innovation. I think this is getting in the right way. I think the bottleneck for us today, it's more the collecting system, the sorting system, how we can isolate cotton fiber from the rest of the fiber. I think probably this is where we are struggling at this moment. I'm not saying that we finalize, we have the holistic solution about mechanical recycling. I think we still have some improvement to do there. But yeah, I think it's more from the start about how we have to collect and sort this waste. This is the most important challenging we have at this moment.
Okay, so in the chain with all the partners there, the focus is on at the moment, or the pressure is on for those people collecting
and sorting, and sorting.
And
I think as a brand, of course, we need to. It's another activity. I'm not going to talk about it, but how we design the new products with monofiber, not mixing with other like polyester, but how we can still monocotton. And I think this is solving the problem for the end of life. So we as a brand, we need to think about how we engage new product already, have in mind end of life, and how we're going to recycle.
And circularity in that respect. Another related question to that maybe was because, do you already have a solution for recycling elastic in denims or elasticated denims?
Yeah, the elastomer fibers, we can recycle to a maximum 2-3% today. It works, but at the carding process, the elastomer will be eliminated automatically or mechanically. It's if you go over this kind of percentage, that's the trigger. I think there is different solution. First, try to avoid to have too much elastomer in your blends, and also there is more and more spinning or webbing technology where we can have the stretch, but to use less, I would say, polyester blend or higher elastomer percentage. It's also a kind of discipline that we need to implement in our collection. I would say the trend at this moment is we are lucky. It's more to this regular or baggy fit, so we go in less and less elastan and less elastomer, so that's good. But in the long term, I think we have to work with the chemical or elastomer fiber technology to make it easier to recycle.
Excellent. Well, I think if there's any more questions, Nicolas, I'm not sure how much time you've got. I know you're a very busy individual, but maybe if there's a few more that come in, you might be happy to answer them for us. But thank you very much for your inspiring talk, and what a challenge. Good luck with that. That sounds
Thank you, guys.
amazing
Thank
project.
you. Bye.
Take care. Thank you very much.